Have you ever wondered what happens when you take Apple's efficiency-first approach and force it to fight against the most power-hungry Windows laptops on the planet? Last year, the M4 Max went head-to-head with some absolute beasts, but Apple just dropped the brand-new M5 Pro and M5 Max MacBook Pros, and the results are honestly shocking. I have the absolute top-spec M5 Max MacBook Pro sitting right here. We are talking about 120 gigabytes of unified memory and a massive 4 terabyte Gen 5 SSD. Today, we are putting this $6,000 machine up against the fastest Windows laptops on the market. We have the Razer Blade 16 with an RTX 5090, the Alienware Area 51 with Intel's Ultra 9, and AMD's absolute best chips. We're going to see if Apple can actually destroy Intel processors that casually chug 139 watts of power. We will also see exactly how much of an upgrade this really is over the M4 Max. I'm going to be totally honest right out of the gate. This laptop is not for the average user. It is built specifically for people who crave the absolute best multi-core performance in heavy CPU and GPU workloads. So let us look at what makes this chip so different. Apple completely changed the game with their core layout this year. The M4 Max gave you options, but the M5 Max maintains a single 18-core configuration across the board. The really crazy part is the architecture itself. Apple introduced a brand new 3-tier system. The base M5 chip still has traditional efficiency cores and the newly upgraded supercores. But the M5 Pro and M5 Max have entirely ditched efficiency cores. You heard that right. Instead, you get 6 supercores for maximum single-thread performance and 12 performance cores optimized for massive multi-threaded tasks. They do all of this while remaining incredibly power efficient. The GPU layout stays similar to last year, but the memory bandwidth has been bumped up by roughly 12%. Apple also threw in the custom N1 chip from the iPhone 17 series, meaning you finally get full support for Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6. But specs on paper only tell half the story. We need to see how this thing actually performs in the real world. First, let's talk about the storage. Apple finally switched over to Gen 5 NVMe SSDs, and the speed is almost double compared to the previous generation. If you work with massive raw video files or giant datasets, this alone is a massive upgrade. Moving into synthetic CPU testing, the M5 Max comes in about 8% faster than the M4 Max in multi-core scores. It might not sound like a huge leap, but you have to remember that this chip consumes the exact same amount of power as last year. Getting any performance bump within the exact same power envelope is a huge win. Single-core performance saw a really nice jump of about 10 to 15%. But things get absolutely wild when we look at real-world workloads like Blender, Houdini, and Handbrake. The M5 Max is easily one of the fastest laptops we have ever seen. It is mind-blowing to watch a laptop that is only 0.66 inches thin destroy the competition. The Alienware Area 51 is over there pulling 139 watts of power to keep up. Meanwhile, the M5 Max is casually sipping less than 60 watts and still finishing ahead in these multi-core tests. That level of efficiency is just insane. When we look at GPU-accelerated tasks, the M5 Max outpaces discrete graphics cards while using a fraction of the electricity. Now, I know the platform argument is valid. If you only use Windows software, a Mac is not for you. But if your apps work on both, you cannot ignore this performance. Take DaVinci Resolve Studio, for example. This is an app where NVIDIA's CUDA acceleration usually destroys everything. Yet the M5 Max held its ground perfectly against the RTX 5090 and the Razer Blade 16. In Adobe Premiere Pro, the M5 Max export times were roughly 15% faster than the M4 Max. If you live inside the Adobe ecosystem, this laptop is a dream come true. But where the M5 Max truly flexes its muscles is in on-device AI workloads. Using LM Studio to run large language models shows the real power of that unified memory and the upgraded neural engine. Running a 32 billion parameter Llama model, the M5 Max generated nearly 28 tokens per second. The Razer Blade 16 with its RTX 5090 only managed 23 tokens per second. For local AI development, the MacBook Pro is now an absolute game changer. Now, let us address the elephant in the room. Gammon. Gee, if you're buying a $6,000 Mac just to play games, you're making terrible life choices. But people always ask, so I tested it anyway. I ran Cyberpunk 2077 and Warhammer at ultra settings on 1600p resolution. Is it playable? Yes, absolutely. Is it competitive with dedicated Windows gaming laptops? Not even close. You also will not see a big difference in gaming compared to the M4 Max, because the GPU core count remain the same. So yes, it can game, but do not buy it for that. Let us talk about battery life, because this is where Apple embarrasses the competition. In light productivity tests, the M5 Max lasted for almost 24 hours. That is a massive improvement. The Windows laptops have huge batteries, but Intel and AMD still cannot touch Apple's power management. Under heavy gaming or rendering workloads, every laptop dies quickly. Both the M5 and M4 Max lasted just over an hour. The Razer Blade actually lasted longer under heavy load, but there is a catch. Windows laptops heavily throttle their performance the second you unplug them to save battery. On a MacBook Pro, your performance stays at 100% whether you're plugged into the wall or sitting in a coffee shop. That right there is exactly why I personally love using a Mac for travel. I know I can render a 4K video on an airplane without my laptop slowing down to a crawl. You simply cannot do that on a Windows machine today. Before we wrap up, we need to talk about the design, or rather the lack of it. Apple has been using this exact same chassis since 2021. The space black finish looks amazing, but it is a horrible fingerprint magnet. The build quality is flawless, and the mini LED display with its insane brightness is still the best screen on any laptop. But it's been 5 years with the same look, the same ports, and the same notch. I am honestly a bit disappointed because I'm craving a fresh design. I also noticed a weird coil whine noise while running heavy AI tests, which my older M4 Max never did. The fans also ramp up a bit more under sustained loads, so it is not completely silent anymore. So who is this laptop actually for? If you're a high-end video editor, a 3D artist, or a developer running local AI models, this machine is the ultimate weapon. But for everyone else, a $6,000 laptop is total overkill. If you just browse the web and do light video editing, save your money. Get the base M5 chip or look at the new Intel options. In my personal opinion, the release of the M5 Max makes this the perfect time to hunt for a discounted M4 Max. You will get 90% of the performance for way less money. Apple has created a true masterpiece of silicon engineering, but the price tag is heavy. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to see more tech content like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below and let me know, would you spend $6,000 on a laptop? See you in the next one.